Hey everyone, this is Rory and Sarah from DCX, the promo industry's premier hiring agency, here to talk about everybody's favorite topic, outsourcing. Kidding, of course, but if you click play on this video and you're still not working with us, chances are you still have some concerns about the idea of hiring outsourced employees. Well, today, we're going to tackle those concerns head on, shine a little light about how other companies in the US are utilizing the service, and how DCX is working to redefine a term that sometimes has too negative of a connotation in the promo industry.
So in order to do that, we thought we'd start with the basics. What exactly is outsourcing at its definition to make sure we're all aligned? And it's simply a business practice of hiring an outside company or an individual contractor to perform tasks or projects that you're not currently doing by an in-house team member. There's a lot of common questions, hesitations, and preconceived notions that we hear from new partners. And over the course of this video, our goal is to help you gain a better understanding of the concept of outsourcing as a business practice and to share some of those insights on how you can apply it in various ways. So first things first, a given function is too critical to outsource. We get it. Your business is your baby, and you're with control freaks like myself. It's incredibly hard to relinquish control and delegate responsibilities. Loss of control and flexibility goes hand in hand with that. I need people in the office so I can see what they're doing. And this can feel like the biggest hurdle of all. Taking that first step into hiring a remote employee can be challenging when you physically can't see them. The talent isn't as strong, or I'm taking jobs away from the US. Again, goes hand in hand with needing people in the office, right? And you might be saying, okay, but the local candidate searches can be difficult, but having someone in-house here is more successful with the right training and mentorship. And then I don't have time to train, to delegate, and manage. And our industry is too complicated. It takes years to master. First and foremost, our industry is complicated. Think about when you stepped into the promo world on day one and the lingo and the language that we all speak, and what is EQP? And then we got into the business of promo, not into HR. And then turnover will be a problem. This is one that we get asked time and time again, right? I think most of you would agree that this is really important, and that having your time invested in training someone just to have them leave for a different opportunity can be a struggle. What we hope to do through the rest of this webinar is answer each of these concerns individually and show you the proper way to leverage outsourcing to its fullest potential, especially with the help of DCX. So a given function is too critical to outsource, or is it a valuable strategy for millions of businesses? Look, all SaaS businesses, big and small, have the same need for critical department functions. The value of proper outsourcing is that it provides access to specialized services, which in turn help reduce operational costs and give you access to a much larger candidate pool to help fill any gaps in talent. The end result is that you have less employees that need to fill multiple seats, and your internal employees now have the ability to focus on the most important aspects of their job to keep that business driving forward. So essentially, outsourcing done properly allows businesses to level up faster and unburden themselves from the constraints of their company size. As a distributor, you are trying to support the promotional product needs of every client in every industry, and it can feel impossible to be an expert at everything that the business requires and demands, and to stay ahead of those industry shifts. The promo industry, honestly, is a perfect case study in proper outsourcing already. You're already doing it. Think about it. Contract decorators, screen printers, embroiderers, your network of suppliers and their resources, which include all of those supplier virtuals that you guys are accustomed to. So artwork, IT services. Over the last 10 years, we've seen a rise in creative forms of outsourcing that allow businesses to scale faster. So think consultants, those fractional employees, CMOs, CFOs that really provide companies access to a greater network of resources than what they have available in-house. I mean, the rise in online stores alone, guys, that's another perfect example of how outsourcing is changing our industry. So all this to say is that you already have experience of trusting others to manage the workload that your clients demand of you. So hopefully the idea of taking outsourcing to the next level won't feel as scary. So really, as you look to drive growth and scale the business, taking your current outsourcing functions and turning them into a true integral part of your internal operations can help you get there faster. It really just requires this shift in mindset from a more project-based or part-time focus to true team integration. So if you take all of those administrative duties and part-time functions and turn them into a full-time entry-level role, you now have the ability to hire someone that can focus exclusively on the needs of your business. By utilizing the help of a hiring agency like DCX, you're able to cast a pretty wide candidate search to help you find the right person, as we like to say, in the right seat, to have the right skills much more quickly and without all of the time that you would normally invest in those initial screenings and interviews. Moving on to kind of current trends and projected growth. One of the big hesitations that we identified is that you feel like everything is just too important to delegate and to outsource. So this is where the control freak comes into play. Sorry, guys. But most business owners really delegate authority to outsource specialists when it comes to some of the top big areas. Think of accounting, like bookkeeping, IT management and maintenance. I am no pro in data security, but we get asked about this all the time, right? And we hire professionals. We hire these outsourced experts to fill the needs of the business, and everything from hiring and recruitment as well. So when an organization is able to focus on its core competencies, the business can allocate those resources more effectively and improve performance. I mean, the outsourcing industry is expected to grow in the next 10 years. You can see here, it's going to reach $524 billion by 2030. The growth is driven by a couple of different factors, including increasing adoption of these digital technologies and platforms, the need for cost savings, and simply the desire for businesses to focus on their core competencies. So if you had worries that these functions of your business were too critical to outsource, hopefully seeing some of these trends will help ease your fears that outsourcing exists everywhere, and it only continues to grow. I mean, businesses all over the globe, including the U.S., are utilizing the help of specialized service partners to help them grow their business. And DCX's goal is to help businesses specifically inside of promo to help scale faster with promo-specific training and services.
We think that the growing popularity of outsourcing in general is actually tied to another major trend, which is the increase of remote work in the U.S. I need people in the office. We already call that out as a major issue that a lot of people have when they're thinking about utilizing this practice. Remote work is here, it's growing, and probably here to stay. As you can see here, for the last 5 years, there's been a major increase for the amount of people that live in the U.S. that work remotely. Maybe it's down slightly since the height of COVID in 2020, but almost 30% of employees are working remotely in 2023, and this is a figure that we see continue to grow. Now, this is a hot button issue. I know there's lots of arguments on both sides, but the bottom line is that people are looking for these remote opportunities, and inside of promo, this isn't really a bad thing. I think our industry is very, very much tailored for remote work, and we think that for a few reasons. One, virtual collaboration tools that have been on the rise that have enabled our industry to operate effectively regardless of where you live. We're all getting better at selling our products via virtual services like this one. Two, most of the software platforms that exist in promo are web-based, and that makes things a lot easier. You can log on anywhere, and you can source product and communicate with clients and kind of handle anything that might pop up. Finally, look, our end user clientele are getting younger, of course, and those individuals are more comfortable with technology. They are way more comfortable living abroad and being able to work anywhere, and you're not as tied to one location. So I think now the opportunity allows you to tackle this remote employee situation from a different perspective. This has become a major issue over the last few years as well inside of the industry, which is like the battle for top talent. And if you have a remote workforce and you're open to someone working remotely, I think that gives you a leg up inside of all of this. So look, distributors are always having to fight to find really good talent that fit into your culture, can do the work that you guys need in order to grow. But there's lots of other companies that are looking for the same thing, and that typically increases the turnover that lots of different companies see. The revolving door forces us to invest way more money and resources, not only in recruiting, but then culture, retention efforts, right? It costs way more to replace somebody than it does to retain them. So remote work allows us to find and retain top talent without being subject to inflation and higher salary demands that exist in certain markets. And look, that brings us back to outsourcing option, because truly, we just see this as an expansion of remote work. The secret is that top talent exists everywhere. And if you embrace this opportunity as part of a larger hiring plan, you can really set yourself up for great success and great results going forward. Another big concern that we mentioned at the top is that, hiring overseas to replace people in the US and kind of how that feels. But when done correctly, this isn't any kind of situation where we're looking to replace people in the US. We're actually looking to bring on resources abroad to grow the entire team together. If you focus on that and how you can kind of get people in the right seats to do some of these entry-level roles, it actually allows your domestic hires to be freed up to do what they do best, and then the entire organization grows together. If you focus on the right type of talent when you go this direction, then you don't actually have to dumb it down or limit what somebody will do for you as well. If you're looking for individuals that have a 4-year degree in some related field to what you're hiring for, you find people that have tremendous communication skills in English, and you look for growth-minded employees, then I think it really can level up the companies. And then when you work with a company like DCX as an HR partner, we're all on the same page to really propel growth across the board. That is really a nice transition to bring in what DCX does best. So I've already kind of talked about a lot of the different preconceived notions and how we can kind of combat them, but there's a few that remain, especially those that involve the promo industry. So we developed our own proven process. We call this the 4D process, that really walks our partners through each step of the way and allows us to help on the margins to make this entire environment be very, very successful. So we'll start there by discussing the environment for success. We've worked now for almost 4 years to develop the infrastructure behind the scenes to be the best HR partner possible for the promo industry. We are investing in the right people, the right processes, programs, platforms, so that this has a great chance of success. And the number one program that we've invested in lately has been our Promo Academy training programs. Those programs are actually designed to bring people into the fold earlier. The individuals worked with us for up to a month learning about the promo industry. Not only that, but they also kind of get a sense of what the key responsibilities will be when they're working for some of our partners. This bridges the gap of that knowledge, all of the intricacies that come up during promo training, and get somebody better prepared to help you faster. The second step is finding the best people. This is really the number one thing that we help with, is once we've trained people on promo, we want to try to determine who is the best fit for your particular business. So we invest in a US-based HR team that does the recruiting, that works through all of our available candidates, sets up interview blocks and shares resumes and testing and personality traits, and really allows you to be able to hire somebody that you think will fit with the rest of your team. Then, after we find the absolute perfect fit for you, we move on to the next important step, which is your first 30 days. We've invested in a US-based customer success team that is dedicated to getting in the weeds with your business and helping set up the proper steps to train your employees on your workflow, your processes, your clients, etc. They've been through the weeds now over 1,600 times with our partners, so they can give you the best practices to truly integrate a overseas employee with the rest of your US team. And finally, we're in this for the long haul. So the fourth step is your overall business growth. Once we get somebody in a seat and they are thriving, our focus shifts to how do we keep that person in that seat for as long as possible. Like we talked about earlier, turnover is a huge problem that many people deal with, and we wanted to do everything in our power to limit that exposure. So when we invest in ways to give somebody more responsibilities, raises, bonuses, and really get them integrated with the rest of your team, then we see turnover be less of an issue. Right now, we're working with the 83% employee retention rate, and many of our employees are set up to work with their partners for years and years to come. So we want you to remember that we are here from that first team member that comes on board till 5 and 10 and more as we grow. We are really well positioned to help you with hiring needs now, but then also those of the future. We work with companies small and large and have learned how to properly build out teams inside of a distributor's org chart. So as you can see here, we see some of the examples of some of the positions that we can help with, but any entry-level position that you have a need for inside of your company, I think is worth talking with DCX.
We appreciate you guys spending time with us. We hope we were able to dispel any of those preconceived notions that you might have had about outsourcing and demonstrated how beneficial it is to businesses that are looking to grow and scale when done properly and with the right partner. We would love to connect to learn more about your specific hiring needs and to see if DCX might be able to support you as you grow. Thanks for watching.